we have a 1948 Ford. And well, this old girl's been sitting for about 50 years, maybe a little bit longer. And you can see she's a little rough around the edges. The interior here, we have a new package on this one. It had the buzzard roost package. We've never had one that had buzzards in it, and you can see how nasty the buzzards are. They rusted the whole side out there with all their buzzard, I guess the poop or their spit or whatever, because I know buzzards are supposed to be, their spit or something's really acidic, and well, it ate through the floor on that side. This side's in a lot better shape, as you can see. And she did come with an extra flywheel. We're not too sure what that's about yet. She's got 74,833 miles on her. And well, underneath the hood, we have the good old Radicus Giganticus package. And the hood's the hood's seen better days, I think. But she does have a good old flathead V8 in here, and looks like there's some acorns there, and some rat nest, some more rat nest, and well, I don't think the motor's gonna turn. Nope. She's locked up dead solid. I kind of figured that because when I drug her off the trailer, I put her in gear and she left a bunch of drag marks. But all in all, I think the motor's here. We got a rat has drug. I guess that's some old house wiring it's drug in there. It ain't attached to nothing. That used to be a plug wire. Oh, does this one have the distributor up here? Oh, we're in luck today. I figured it had one down there, but no, she's got the, dad blame blackberry bushes. She's got the good old distributor up here, so the points are a breeze to get to, unlike the ones on the old cab over there. I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this out of here, and we'll see what the old motor looks like. Dug all the rat nest out of the thing, and we're gonna give the old Radicus Giganticus a 9 out of 10 on rat nest building skills. Would have been a 10 out of a 10, but he used a bunch of this cedar bark, which is real nice and soft, but he didn't use enough blackberry bushes or thorn bushes, so that's why he gets a 9 out of a 10. His defense system for his nest was not very good. But in the old engine bay, the engine doesn't look too terrible. The plugs aren't rusted off. I mean, she still has some rat poop here and there, but she don't look too bad. The motor is still stuck. I mean, I kind of figured it would be. I didn't think anything was holding the fan or anything, but she don't look too bad. She does have the good, easy to get to distributor. This is what's left of our plug wires. This is the cool wire here. It's usable, but the rest of these, the good old rat has chewed them off. They're real nice and shiny because they were still in the cap, but everything's here. The plugs are all in it, so I'm gonna heat them up, spray them with the PB blaster, and we'll take them out and get the old girl soaking. Only concerning thing is she didn't have a breather on her, so this thing is still full of rat nest and stuff like sticks and acorns and such like that. And I don't know what that is. That's not an acorn, but it's full of that. So hopefully he didn't crawl down in there and pee in it, because if he did, the cylinders are going to be quite rusty. Heated the old spark plug up, and she could have been a little bit warmer. The PB blaster didn't smoke enough when we sprayed her, but hopefully that'll soak in there. 99% of the time when the rats are on top of this, like if you look around that one, it's all caked up with rat poop and stuff. It makes it where they really don't want to come out of here. We'll skip that middle one so we don't set this one on here on fire. I'll let that heat that for a while and get back with you guys. This one should be nice and spicy now. At least I think it is. See, that one's the perfect temperature. It's got the right sizzle to it. I'll go ahead and get the other two and get the other side, and I'll get back with you guys. Sprayed all these spark plugs down. You can see we have us a little fire going back there, but it won't hurt nothing. I guess we ought to check the oil. I didn't think about it. Well, there we go. Let's see. Oh. I think that's water froze down in there, because it felt like it was kind of frozen in there. Oh, no, it's just, is it just goo? That ain't a good sign. That old paraffin wax oil does that, but I think it's just goo. It might not be water. No, this side's frozen. So that's water. It's got a little bit of water down in there, it looks like, and a lot of the good old paraffin wax goo. Huh, that ain't a real good sign. Maybe that's why she's locked up. Time to go ahead and pull the spark plugs out of this thing. I'm just gonna use the impact today because I've let these soak for a while and they shouldn't break off. Well, that one came out fairly easy. You can see there's a little bit of, well, a little bit of junk there. And it does look like that one valve's probably gonna be stuck. It'll be the exhaust valve. I think it's the exhaust valve. That one looks pretty good. Well, I think this is why we normally don't use the impact on flatheads, because they don't fit. Okay. Well, what'd she look like? Actually, there's not much rust on that plug. You can see there's carbon on it, but not really any rust. I decided to run away there for a bit for some reason, but we about got her loose. There we go. And, right there. There's not much of it, but there's a little bit of that. I think that's a little bit of that green corrosion. It might be that one that has something stuck in it. I guess we'll pull the ones on the other side and see what they look like. You can cheat and just use the impact on all of these over here. Just a bunch of carbon on this one as well. Huh. Same thing on this one. Right there. This one. The camera will do its thing. You can see that there's that red rust on this one, so that's probably the cylinder that's holding us up. And there's not really any rust on this one. So we have this one that has some red rust and green on it, and one on the back side over there that has some green on it. So I'm gonna say that cylinder and the far back one is the ones that are giving us problems. I went ahead and took the carburetor off there because if you look, it's packed full of rat nest, and so is the bottom of it. So nothing was getting through it, and I didn't want all that stuff to get down in there. I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of the good old transmission fluid and acetone down in there. It is like 21 degrees out here, so I'm not sure how well this stuff will work, or I'm not sure yet. It don't really work that good in the cold normally. It works, but it takes it a lot longer. I think it's leaking out already. Let's see. That's just going straight out the exhaust valve on that one. There we go, that one's filling. It's to the tippy top, it looks like. It didn't take much. I guess whatever poured down the intake went in there. Huh. That one's full as well. I got a pan underneath there for all the people that are worried about it getting on the ground. So it shouldn't get on the ground. No guarantees. Let the old girl set for a couple of days with the transmission fluid and acetone mixture in there. It don't look like it evaporated like it normally does. Maybe that's a good sign. Let's give her a pull and see what we got. No. Okay. Well then, it might take a few more days. Well, okay, it's loose, I think, or the belt slipped. Did the belt slip? I think the belt slipped. Nope, Is she moving? There we go. We got crankage. Well, it's already spitting that out of the cylinders. I guess she wasn't stuck as bad as I thought she was. Ain't that something? Huh. Maybe it works better in the cold, or maybe it just wasn't that stuck. I gotta go get something to catch that stuff, and I'll get back with you guys. I'll turn it over and see if we can get a full rotation out of it. And I'm gonna see what the old valves on this side look like and see if they're actually moving. Ooh, it's got kind of a, maybe not. Sounded like it had a catch there for a minute. Oh. Well, I see one stuck valve guaranteed on this. Well, it's back stuck again. Maybe get a run at it. Oh. Whew. Almost got sprayed. There we go. She's a rolling. Okay, we have one stuck valve for sure on this side. I can't tell about the other ones just yet. I don't know what it looks like on y'all guys' side over here, but I'll take a look here in a second and see. Well, that one looks clean. It shouldn't be. I bet you that one's stuck though. Is it? Yeah, we got one, two. This one's stuck for sure. Right here, we'll call it 1 on the passenger side, and same way with on the other side, there's one stuck. I'm gonna go get the screwdriver and hammer, and we'll beat on it for a minute or two. So a lot of you guys were asking how I get the valves loose. This little screwdriver that I've been over works pretty good on these flatheads. You can also use a screwdriver like this. You really want to hit in the center of the valve stem and not on the edge, because you can bend it or break it. I've broke plenty of them, and I've bent plenty of them. Just gotta put a screwdriver in there, and if they're not real stuck, this one's real stuck. Like really stuck. Okay. That's to be expected though. We'll give it 2 or 3 more rolls and see. Now we'll give it a whack. There we go. It was still on the lifter on that one. Okay. And normally it doesn't go that easy. Normally you got to really beat on them. And that's where this comes in, because you can get to this valve because you can get to the edge of it, but this one over here you can't get to. So you got to bend you a screwdriver like that, and that's how you can get to them. I'm gonna go ahead and spin that a bunch more times and see which ones are stuck on this side and get back with you guys. Through here a few more times, and we had a stuck valve on this one, and I think this one, I don't know. There was an intake valve, exhaust valve, and if you look down in here, hopefully you can see, and that's the valves, and right there is how this tool comes in handy, because you can bend around to get this one. That valve's currently in the up position because it's supposed to be open, I'm pretty sure, because it's normally there's not 2 stuck valves on a cylinder, because this one was already stuck, but I think that's supposed to be in the upward position. You can also check valves when you bend a screwdriver like this to see if they're stuck, because sometimes it's a pain in the butt to see the if the intake valve is stuck, because you can't really see them. I went ahead and went to the other side, got all them valves loose, except for I didn't get to the back cylinder. I'm not sure if there's a stuck one there. We're gonna hope there isn't, because don't want to pull the oil filter off if we don't have to. There was a few of these that kept hanging, and cylinder number 1 on that side keeps hanging up. But this is something that's strange. I haven't seen it on one of these that I've worked on. It has 2 stuck valves. This one here was stuck, the exhaust valve, and the intake valve is still up, and the exhaust valve's coming up. I got the exhaust valve to work, and I guess the intake valve's just been stuck. I'm gonna beat on it a few more times with a hammer, and I'm sure we can get it loose. And we need to, I guess, go down there, hook the old starter up, and make sure they all work, and make sure when she whirls real fast, they close fast enough, and that we have compression. So after a lot of beating this intake valve with a hammer, it finally is closed. It took about 7 or 8 whirl arounds, and it now closes. Over here, this one here, that one moves. It does look a little rusty, but it goes up and down. Same way with these two, both of them work, and that one back there works. And on the other side over here, all of these seem to work now. This one here hangs up every now and again, but all in all these work. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll run some battery cables and get the old starter whirling, and we should have her running here in a minute after we clean some points, throw a carburetor on her, and throw some fuel to her. Oh, I probably need to replace that bolt because oil's probably gonna go everywhere. Starter did not want to work. I got up underneath there and turned it with a screwdriver because I guess it had a little bit of debris or corrosion on the brushes and the armature, so she should work now. Okay, she spins. Let's see if we got any compression here. None. None. That ain't a good sign. Huh. That one has compression. Let's see about this one. That one has good compression. Nothing. Nothing. So, 2 on this side have compression. Let's go ahead and just all but number 1 on the driver's side has compression. So we got, let's see, we got 5 with compression, 3 without. So we're doing pretty good. I figured I had all them valves loose, but I guess not. And since it's all nice and snowy today, it's kind of hard to see in here to see the valves. Let's see. That one's closing. It must be the, I'm assuming it's the intake valve. Yeah, it is. Well, yeah. It's the intake valve that's stuck. I think I got all the valves loose now. Some of these cylinders hardly have any compression, but once we get her running and get her warm, she should pick up quite a bit. I think that's the flywheel or something, the pilot bearing, because it ain't greased or something like that, because that's kind of what it sounds like, but no big deal. It's time to crawl underneath there, change the oil. Well, I mean the water, because a lot of it's probably water in there, and hopefully it ain't frozen solid. Heated the old oil drain plug up, and luckily we got this nice little rat nest fire to keep us warm while we're down here. And let's see what the oil looks like, if there's any in here. Oh, it's too cold to... Well, it's kind of chunky. It's kind of... It'll probably come out of there. Maybe. That might take a while. I guess I'll go ahead and heat that with the torch, and hopefully it don't catch on fire, and maybe it'll come out of there. Because that ain't gonna lubricate very well. About 3 gallons of diesel fuel down in the oil pan, and finally it's starting to drain out. I've been scraping around in there with a screwdriver and stuff and whirling it over, and I think the oil's finally coming out of there. There's some water in it. I don't really see any oil just yet. It's mainly, well, I mean diesel yet. It's mainly oil, and it don't look too bad. So I'll let it drain for another 14 business days, because it's cold, and it'll probably take a day or 2 for all that to drain out of there. All the sludge out of the oil pan. Well, that worked. Already got that one off, and I guess that one was held on by the coil wire there. Nothing looks too corroded down in there. A little bit of spider web. I'm not too sure how they get in there, but they find a way. Got the old fancy vacuum advance thing on here, and the points do have a little bit of corrosion. I'll go ahead and get them sanded up, and we'll throw some plug wires on this thing, and we should have some spark here in a minute. The carburetor I got, I don't know if it has that vacuum hole to plug into. It might, so not sure if the vacuum advance is going to work. I'll have to see. Now that the points are all nice and sanded, I hooked the old coil up, so we should have sparkage. Well, oh yeah, they're sparking. We're good to go. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the cap back on there, and we need to sort out some plug wires and spark plugs, and she should be whirling over and running here in a minute. I did pour a little bit of gas down in there, but she ain't got much compression, so we're gonna try the old starting fluid here. not even trying. This is strange because I swear unless this thing's moving or I put it on wrong the first go around, number one was up here where it was supposed to be, and now it's right about here. So I'm going to switch the cap wires around, and I guarantee you she'll fire off and run. This is a good teachable moment to measure twice and give it spark once or something like that. Well, this camera angle's halfway decent. This camera stand ain't the best. Someone stole the good one a while back, so, well, it wasn't really a good one. It just worked better than this one. Let's give her a go, and I think I might have put the cap on upside down. And that may have been the problem, or I don't know. We're just going to give her a go. Maybe we put the cap on upside down. Maybe we didn't, but as long as she runs, that's all that matters. And I bet she'll fire right off now. Yep, I figured as much. Yep. Come on, old girl. Would you look at that? If you have the firing order right, she'll run. Think she needs a little more throttle. She is a little low on compression, so we're going to give her the good old ether treatment before we lay the gas to her. I got to get something to hold that throttle back because the screwdriver fell out of place and she died, but we'll run her for a minute or two, get her warm, let her cool down, and then we'll switch her over to the good old gasoline and see if we can get her to drive. Duct tape throttle 9000 there, and well, she should run good now. Well, I lied. Too bad. She started picking up some compression there. She kicked out all that nasty stuff I put down. See, she makes a pretty good smoke signal. It don't really show up that good because the snow on the ground, but I gotta say she's running pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and hook some gas up and let her run that way for a while. She's still not warm, so she does need to run a while then set, and that should help the good old rings kind of pop back, because that side over there is real bad on compression. This side, number one, has really good compression, and the rest of them probably have 40 or 50 pounds of compression, maybe a little bit more. I went ahead and hooked it up to the good old gasoline, and it's leaking a little bit, but that adds character, and well, we're gonna give her a whirl, and I bet she'll run pretty good now. She is still low on compression, like I've said, but once she runs a while, she should fix that. There we go. No way. She'll just sit there and barely idle, won't she? Come on, old girl. Starter's giving us fits. There we go. Okay, we need a little bit more throttle because she seems to still be low on compression. She's starting to get warm. You can see all the stuff burning off the exhaust there. I'm gonna go ahead and let her cool down for a while, and she should run a lot better now. That's a lot of blow-by coming out of there. I'd say she's not too hot. You can hear all the engine stop leak boiling out of the exhaust, and I'll get back with you guys in a minute, and well, it'll be a while, but it'll be seconds to y'all guys, and we'll see if we can drive her forwards or backwards. So it seems there's absolutely no clutch left in this thing. That's what all the grinding was about. I was trying to pop it into gear and jump the clutch to get it loose from the flywheel because I think it's stuck to the flywheel. I have it in gear and I have a bunch of weight on the clutch pedal, so hopefully when I whirl the starter, she'll break loose. No guarantees though. She'll probably just try to run me over. She ain't gonna do it. The clutch is real good and stuck. Well, I gotta say, we got the old girl running after 50 years. She runs pretty good. We're not gonna get her driving. She does have, well, 3 1/4 flat tires. She is trying to run out of, oh no, she's trying to flood out here. Let's remedy that problem. But the clutch is, I mean, welded to the flywheel. I think it's just rust in there, but I've beat on it a few times, tried jumping it in gear, tried starting it in gear, and I tried pulling it back and forth with the clutch pressed down, and it didn't really do anything, but we got her running. And I gotta say, this old flathead's probably running like the day she was built, because boy, did she ever run smooth. She's out of fuel now. Thank you guys for watching, and please consider leaving a like or subscribing because we got a lot more cool videos coming to the channel. Hopefully pretty soon you'll see the mail van. I really want to get it running and driving, but the motor won't come undone in it. Same way with the old Dodge truck there. And I know a lot of you guys are asking to see one of these restored, and we're going to restore one. We'll kind of make a hot rod out of it here pretty soon. It's an old Model A, but you guys will see it in a couple weeks, and well, probably a couple months before we restore it. We're going to do a will it run on it first. And we got a car coming to the channel that's over 100 years old. Here in the next probably week or two, we'll have it on here, and we're going to get it running and driving. But thank you guys for watching. Please consider leaving a like or maybe subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.